winter. We winter bale graze, so you can kind of see some of the residue that is on the ground around here. We have the feeder out here because we ran out of round bales, so then we've been using small square bales, and to store them out in the field, we got them in an old chopper box wagon. To load the chopper box, I threw the bales from the hay mow onto the elevator. The elevator took the bales into the chopper box where my mother stacked them. So we're gonna move the feeder and the wagon across the field. Gonna move the cattle out there so that way we can get in here, pick up some of these big chunks of old bale, put it on the compost pile, and then get ready to seed the field. We put the fork extensions on the tractor loader to pick up the feeder. And then we backed up to the chopper box and hook it up so that way we can take everything in one trip. So as you can see, we got everything set up. We got the feeder set up. We got some bales in it. We brought the wagon over, and then we got their water all set up. Now you can kind of see them way back there over on the sand hill. We're gonna try to get the beefers come all the way down here. I got the back fence up right here, as if you can kind of see. So we're gonna push them up over here, and they're gonna install another fence right there, and that way it'll hold them in this little area. Let's see how it goes. Now that we are ready to move them, I begin by taking down the poly wire fence holding them back. Right away they stopped nibbling at the fresh green grass, so we had to give them a little motivation to keep moving. Once they finally started moving,
good girl,
they were moving along just nicely.
Good girl. Come on.
So now that we got the big beefers moved down the hill, now we got the little beefers. So these are the ones I picked up about 3 weeks ago. This is the little pen we made. I'll show you quick. I got the hay storage right here in another chopper box wagon, but right here you can see I got a walk-through gate right here. So we walk in here. So this is how we train our cattle to the poly wire. There's a single white strand. You have a backing fence, so they kind of know there's a fence here. So this is the 48 inch tall woven wire. And then in front of it, we put the poly wire. We put 2 strands. So that way now they should be trained to the poly wire, knowing that it is electrified fence. And then all we have to do is hook it up to the perimeter fence. So we just use a jumper wire right there. For this pen, you can see we have our hay feeder out here that we put about between 6 to 8 small squares in a day. And then we got their water tanks. We got their 2 water tanks. Then I got a garden hose that I can hook up to their winter water to fill it up. And with the nice big water tank like this, I only got to fill it up once a day. We got 13 of them right here. And then we also got their salt mineral block. And then we got some old round bales that they just roll around, scratch around with, you know. Because right now they're kind of shedding their winter coats and getting ready for spring. So go here. We're gonna move these guys. I'm gonna string a single wire and hopefully they follow it, and we're gonna go behind the barn over there. Stay tuned. As you can see, we got most of the pen taken down, and I got the single poly wire set up. We're gonna keep going down the field. This way we have an alleyway to run the little beefers to behind the barn. Once we were ready to move them, All we had to do was remove the wire and they were ready to go. Once they reached the bottom, they saw the water. It got a little scared, but hippity-scop, right over the water they go. So just a quick update. We got all the animals moved off the sand hill up here. We took down that pen. I don't know if you remember that. Got that all taken down. And just like farming, you know, everything takes twice as long as you think. You know, we're way behind schedule. But we're running into plan Z here on what to do with this. So we want to seed this hilltop now. The situation though is when we winter bale graze, we can't seed into this much mulch. You know, the seed needs to hit contact with the ground. So we had the manure spreader and we were going to try to haul in each load, but then that was just taking too much time. So I think what we're going to do is, well, it's one big rectangle and we're pushing it all into the center like a big compost line like this, if you can kind of see. So we're going to push in both ends into the center. We're going to disc this up, work this up, prepare the seed bed, and then seed this, and then we're going to load it in the manure spreader and put that on top. So we think that's going to be the best situation here. I guess that's how farming goes. There's no right answer. You just do the best thing you can and go from there. But that way, instead of trying to seed on top of the mulch, we're gonna seed into the ground and then spread the mulch on top. So it's gonna take a little longer, but if we do it the right way, I think we're gonna have a really good result. Plus, we might get a little rain on. We got the tractor and then we got the tiller. So we got the tiller behind the tractor. Then what works best is we got the cultipactor. And as you can see, it leaves a pretty nice seed bed prepared for us to plant in. What we are seeing with is a 3-point drill on the back of a tractor that we rented. Did a very good job. I did 2 passes, one north and south and the other across way east and west. Here was our first pass trying to spread the old hay as mulch on top of the seeding. The goal is not to open the gate fully so that it would spread it too heavily, but also keep the RPMs up so that way it would spread it out evenly. It was a little bit trick to the trades, but I think we did a pretty good job. Here was our final pass. You can see the spreader is pretty much empty, and we have a pretty even overall covering. So as you can see, we got our 3 experimental plots. The first one was our winter water walking path where the cattle had rutted up the ground. What we did there is we just tilled it up with the tractor. We spread the seed with the fertilizer spreader, and then we just ran the cultipactor over it, but we didn't put no mulch on it. So as you can see here, this is that lane. The grass is starting to come up. That did very good. It's been about a week. Then the second area, what we did was we pushed all the leftover hay into the center. We worked up the ground, kind of got it nice and smooth, prepared the seed bed. We seeded it down. We rented a seeder, a drill, and then we loaded up the straw into a manure spreader, and then we laid it over the top like this, try to put a small covering on it. And what that does is kind of provides a mulch, keeps the weeds down. And this is all a sand hill, so hopefully it kind of retains some of that moisture in the sand. Then I talk about the third one. Well, the third one, I kind of did a little experiment on this side over here, as you can see. Kind of did the same thing over there. I added some beets and some peas. One of the main reasons we are trying to seed down this area, even though it's all sandy, is to prevent we get all these sandburrs that come through. If you remember, the little prickly little things, your little ball that has everything, and they'll attach to your shoes, your socks, and everything. You can kind of tell they're already starting to come up. So this is the half of the field that we didn't do yet. And the reason why we didn't do half the field is it was very time consuming doing it the way we did. Pushing all the straw on the side, preparing the seed bed, seeding it, then spreading it on top. That was a whole weekend's worth, and you got half the field done. And with fuel, it's just not really worth our time. We're trying to think of another way we can make this happen, but that's farming. Experiment, right? These Jimmy Beams, I tell you what, Hulk, he digs. Look at that. Trying to dig underneath the fence.